Well, welcome. I'm Councilman Jim Hart, also United States Army veteran, and I'm proud to be here today to introduce and show the parade that's going to be happening here today very soon. This, as you know, is our Memorial Day Parade, and it's held by the Wayne-Westland Memorial Day Parade Committee. So we're looking forward. I'm joined today with Dan Stachow, who serves on the parade committee.
Yep, Dan Stachow, Vietnam veteran, 68-69. Going to have a beautiful parade. Hope the weather holds up, we don't get wet, and hope everybody enjoys it. A lot of work's gone into it.
So we got a long list of a lot of people that are going to be here today. Naturally, the focus of today's parade is for the veterans showing up to pay respects to all of the men and women who have given their lives in defense and support of this country. So we'll have the veterans come out first, and then they'll be followed by a number of supporters here and local civic groups, local veterans groups. I think
Definitely.
we've got, who do we got out here today?
We have BOVA, which is the lead unit. We have Harris Care. We have AMVETS 171. We have American Legion 251 out of Wayne-Westland. We have very diverse group of people here, and looking forward to having a good time.
Well, we're looking forward to this great parade. I'm looking forward to commenting on the parade with my good friend Dan here. So pretty soon we're going to lead you into the action, so stay tuned. And welcome back. We're here, and the parade is just now coming down the road. We are led first by the VFW 985 BOVA Post Color Guard. The VFW Post, the BOVA Post, is located on Hicks Road here in Westland, and they're led with Sid Morse. United States Marine Corps retired is our local Grand Marshal for today. And at the moment, we'll go ahead and render our salute to Old Glory as she comes by.
Here comes Sid Morris, our Grand Marshal.
Sid Morse, our Grand Marshal, being flanked by also retired Brigadier General Carol Ann Fasson. Sid Morris is a member of the local VFW 985 and has served in Vietnam and in Iraq. So he has a wide berth of military service to our country.
Sid is followed by his military brothers in arms, and they're also from the BOVA Post, which is located on Hicks Road, south of Warren. Just look for the big tank. You'll find BOVA Post 9885.
And riding in the black Jeep is the BOVA Post commander, Mike Rakita. Here we have an old Jeep.
Yep.
Dan, that Jeep should look familiar to you.
Yes, it does. That's one of the Jeeps we used in Vietnam, and that's also from BOVA 9885, Benny Lipinski and Ron Thomas on that Jeep. Benny's involved in a lot of military stuff. Here's a vehicle that's been brought into us, and it's seen action in Iraq. Even though it looks new, been refurbished.
Following the VFW Post 9885, we have an old Etzel showing up right here in the parade. And I believe that's AMVETS Post 171 will be following them.
The gentlemen riding on the vehicles here are from American Legion Post 251. They're made up of people from Wayne, Westland, Inkster, the surrounding communities, Canton, but they're based right here in Westland.
And here's parade float number 1. This is the first of 2 parade floats donated by the Wayne Ford Civic League and Wayne Lawn and Garden. They're modified by the William D. Ford Career Development students for today's event and giving some of our local veterans a ride in the parade. It's also pulled by our friends at Westland Car Care. Thank you for your support.
These students put together these floats. The floats were donated by Wayne Ford Civic League and Westland Lawn and Garden Care, that refurbished by the students at the Etzel D. Ford William B. Ford Vocational School. Done a great job. Okay, here we have John Glenn High School Junior ROTC.
Leading today, we have the JROTC cadets led by First Sergeant Albert Phoenix, followed by John Glenn High School's Rocket Marching Band. The kids practice hard to prepare for day's celebration, incorporating music appropriate for today's event.
This group is a very award-winning group. Sergeant Phoenix has done an outstanding job in training his kids, students, and has received many accolades for what he's done with these kids.
You know, the JROTC program is fantastic. That's where I started my military career in high school. And then my daughter serves today in the John Glenn JROTC Rocket Battalion. So happy to have them here. As you can see, they're followed now by the John Glenn Marching Band.
John Glenn Marching Band is performing many ceremonies. They're playing a lot of military songs for us today, and we appreciate everything that they do for the community.
Our local Marines are being treated to their rendition, the Marine Corps anthem.
All the Marines are up and standing, enjoying the music. Now we have the Canton Young Marines. This group of Marines trains weekly at the Harris Care VFW post, where they learn discipline, leadership, respect for our military past and present. Basically everything they need to know is what it is to be a Marine. What a way to start. Now we have Veterans Haven. Veterans Charity Services just opened a thrift store, and they're in the old place where St. Vincent de Paul used to be. It's on North Wayne Road, 6613. All proceeds that are made at this store are donated to veterans and other bills that are paid.
Following Veterans Haven, we have the Westland area JCs, and they really stepped up this year to help in the parade. Coordinating, assisting with the parade line and logistics. As we know, the JCs are a local youth leadership and development organization reaching out to members 21 to 40 years of age. The local chapter here, the JCs, were formed in 1959 as the Nankin Township JCs, and were later changed their name to the Westland JCs to follow in line with they knew that the city would be changing the name themselves to Westland, the city of Westland. So thank you to the JCs for all your hard work.
Now up and coming is the Westland Rotary Club. It's a service club whose mission is to provide assistance, helping organizations promote their charitable efforts. They advance world understanding, extend goodwill and purpose through fellowship.
Here we have Girl Scout Troop, 75912.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out today, girls.
Even though the weather's a little inclement, we appreciate you marching in our parade today.
We have a number of Scout troops. We have, in addition to that troop, we have Girl Scout Troop 79813, Boy Scout Troop 270, and Cub Scout Packs 9885, 729, 897, and 247. One of the Girl Scout groups is from Walker Winter Elementary School, and the Boy Scout Troop is the oldest Scout troop based in Livonia. And Cub Scout Pack 9885 is based here in Westland. Pack 897 and 729 are from Livonia, and 247 is from Wayne.
These young folks spend their time doing community things, learning, earning badges for the various activities they're involved in, and it's nice to get them started and to show them some civic pride.
And here we have Uncle Sam gracing us with his presence here at this parade. Thanks for coming, Uncle. There we go. One of our Girl Scout troops are finally catching up with us, the 79813 troop. Followed by the Boy Scout troops. There's Troop 897 behind them.
And from Livonia, we have Group 729 and Pack 247 from Wayne. I'd like to welcome all of them to our parade, and thanks for coming out. Very, very nice group of young folks that are involved in their communities and earning many badges, as this individual here has 50 of them on his shawl. And the youngest of all, the Cub Scouts. Hooray for the Cub Scouts.
Here we have the Distinguished Young Women of Wayne-Westland. The Distinguished Young Women of Westland is a scholarship program that offers scholarships to local high school junior girls with a focus on academics, leadership, and talent. So before the parade started today, one of our Cub Scout packs, Troop 9885 out of Bova, they came through today, and they actually handed out a lot of the small flags here for everybody to look at, so and wave as the parade went by. So we'd like to thank Pack 9885 and the Bova for sponsoring Pack 9885 for all the wonderful things that they do right here in the city of Westland.
And as you get down to the Westland Veterans Memorial, the programs will be passed out by the young group.
Here we have Dr. Holt.
Dr. Holt.
Dr. Shelley Holt is here from the Wayne-Westland School District. Dr. Holt has made community involvement one of her primary focuses since becoming superintendent.
Well, coming up, we have the Wayne Memorial High School Band, the Zebras, and they're a very good band right here.
So we have two high schools here in the Wayne-Westland School District. We do have John Glenn High School, and then we have Wayne Memorial. So Dr. Shelley Holt, who you've seen before, is a responsible superintendent for both of the high schools here in our school district. And we're thrilled to have the Zebras here as they go ahead and walk down the street, playing a wonderful rendition and showing their support and patriotism.
Yes, they're a very colorful band, play fantastic music, and a lot of dedication here in what they do. As you can probably hear, it's raining a little bit harder than we would hope, but they're still out here.
Well, Dan, when we were in the military, we just called rain liquid sunshine.
That's right.
So that's
liquid
all
sunshine.
this is.
Just keep press on regardless.
And Wayne Memorial is being followed by the Wayne Memorial JROTC Battalion. So as we have two schools here in the city of, in the Wayne-Westland School District, we have two JROTC units here. And we're happy to have the young men and women of the JROTC program here supporting the parade and marching along.
Behind them, we have the Westland Meteors football team and their cheerleaders. They're the world champion team. They won their championship in Canton, Ohio at the NFL Football Hall of Fame field.
Yeah, it was an amazing event. They went down there. They were at the Football Hall of Fame. Our local Meteors team are national champions. They brought home national recognition right here to the city of Westland. We couldn't be more thankful and supportive of our Westland Meteors.
Very great group of kids, very dedicated.
Now, following the Meteors, we have the second parade float. This is the second float that was modified again by the William D. Ford Career Development students for today's event to give some of our veterans a chance to ride and be supported in the parade. And again, also being pulled by our friends at Westland Car Care. Thank you so much for your support.
And we have a soccer league and everybody else in here. It's a Wayne-Westland Soccer League. They had a game earlier today. That's why you see them in their uniforms. And behind them.
And then we have the Dad's Club athletic program here. Here we number of our local officials. We have the mayors of Westland and Wayne. Westland Mayor William R. Wild, Wayne Mayor John Racy, followed by Council President Jim Godbout.
Now we have the Wayne Historical Society, which was established in 1956. The group serves to preserve the history of Wayne by sharing its past and to preserve it for the future.
Here we have the Wayne Historical Society. This group serves to preserve the history of Wayne by sharing the past to preserve the future. And then if you can hear them, we have the American Legion Riders, 396, coming up right behind them. Legion Riders, this group of veterans, are based out of Garden City and participate in military-related events throughout the region, as well as many other celebrations.
These individuals give up their time. A lot of them go to Washington, D.C. American Legion Riders was formed originally at this post, and they're nationwide now. Very nice group of people. Enjoy their rides. Many of them have been to Washington, D.C. for Rolling Thunder.
Following the Legion Riders, we have our Westland Police Department, led by the Westland Tactical Response Unit vehicle and some of our local Westland police explorers.
Behind them, we have the Westland Fire Department, always putting their lives on the line anytime they go out on a call. Appreciate what they do for the community.
So, Dan, this brings us to the end of the parade. I know after the parade here, we're going to go ahead into the ceremony, and it's going to be fantastic. But, I mean, I think this was a wonderful opportunity. A lot of people came out. We have a lot of spectators here that are here to support this Memorial Day Parade and everything that's going on. I couldn't be more thankful to everybody who volunteered their time and their efforts and their energy. I'd like to thank the City of Westland, the City of Wayne for working together, as well as always the Wayne-Westland Veterans Parade Council for working hard to make sure that we have this event. We know we had a problem last year with logistics, but it's back and it's greater than ever. So I want to thank you and all of your organization for working hard. I'd like to thank also all the local veterans organizations that have come together to really put on an outstanding parade. All the veterans working together in unison, and I couldn't think of anywhere else better to happen than here in the All-American City.
We look forward to continuing this parade for as long as we possibly can. The only thing we can pray for is better weather. Unfortunately, it rained a little today, but we're doing good.
Well, Dan,
we're making strides.
We're making strides,
Definitely.
But, you know, it's just liquid sunshine.
That's it.
So after this, I think we'll wrap up this parade, and I'm going to head over to the ceremony. How about
I'm
you?
going to head over, see what's going on there, and get involved.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone at home.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
Memorial Day.
Good afternoon. My name is Patrick Harity. I'm the Master of Ceremonies for our Wayne-Westland Memorial Day Parade after ceremony. Thank you everybody for attending, and thank you for all dignitaries and guests. At this time we will have Timothy Horvath, chaplain, and Westland Police Sergeant give the invocation. Please rise.
Please bow your heads. O Lord Almighty, remember those that lived and died fighting to protect the dignity and the freedom of mankind. Let our spirits be proud of them. Let our hearts be compassionate and our minds clear and determined in giving them honor and respect. Let us be dependent on the loving kindness of the Lord our God. As we remember the departed, let us be true soldiers in the war and on peace. Let us be courageous protectors and true guardians of freedom. Let us be true masters of brotherly love. O Lord, guide us in the way of mortal responsibility. Enlighten us who are true believers in ethics and justice. Let this be a day of remembrance and honor to those who sacrificed their lives in order to give us liberty and our nation's security. Remember them, O Lord, in your mercy, and have compassion on us. Make us a generation of wisdom, discipline, and faith. We pray in your holy name. Amen.
Please remain standing for the national anthem played by John Glenn High School and Wayne Memorial High School. Present arms. Order arms. Please be seated. We'll now have our guest speakers. First speaking on the Mayor of Westland, the Honorable Mayor William R. Wild.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining us here today at this ceremony. It's really remarkable to once again say that we're having a A parade is a ceremony here in the city of Westland, joining with the city of Wayne once again. When the decision was made not to have a parade, it really left a hole in our spirit here in the All-American City. So we're super pleased that we're able to honor our veterans here again today. And the Westland Veterans Memorial Garden, I think, is probably one of the most unique places that you'll find in any city to honor those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. So I thank everybody that's here today. I really thank all the people that made this happen. It took a lot of people to put this together and make it a tradition here once again in the All-American City. So on the back page of your program, it has a list of all those folks. But at the end of the day, it's about the veterans, and that's who we're here for here today. So thank you all the veterans for being here today, and I just want you to know you're part of a thankful city, the city of Westland. Thank you. Would like to give all of you thank you for your service and the family members. And as today's ceremony goes on, just remember that we're here today to remember those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. So once again, thank you all for joining us here today.
Thank you, Mayor Wild. Next, we have the Mayor of Wayne, the Honorable Mayor John Rasa. Did I say that right?
Good afternoon. It's a distinct honor to be here with you today as we come together to remember and honor the service and sacrifice of our nation's finest and bravest. I want to thank Mayor Wild and the City of Westland and the Parade Committee and everyone that has had a part of putting this year's event together. This has just been absolutely amazing. Memorial Day descends from Southern tradition of Decoration Day, where families would travel to the cemeteries where their ancestors were interred to place flowers on their graves. Often large groups of extended families would make the trip, religious ceremonies would take place, and food would be served. Decoration Day used to reflect the cycles of farm life taking place in the late summer when farm work was lightest, or in autumn after the seasonal harvest. Memorial Day as we know it was established on May 5th, 1868, when Grand Army of Republic, a Civil War veteran organization, General John A. Logan, the GAR's first commander-in-chief, declared May 30th to be Memorial Day and called on GAR's membership to make it an annual occurrence. Some hold that day was chosen because it wasn't the anniversary of a specific battle, while in 2010, President Barack Obama's Memorial Day speech makes reference to the date being chosen because it was where flowers were optimally in bloom for decorating graves. And one thing that I thought was pretty amazing was that 1 year later, the city of Wayne became a village. So for the city of Wayne, this has been something that we've had as part of our community for 150 years. Across our nation, this Memorial Day, our citizens and our veterans gather to pay respects to America's finest men and women who gave their lives in defense of freedom for our freedom. As we express our gratitude today, we must never forget what the highest, brightest appreciation is not just words, is not to just speak the words, but to live by them. This is why we are all gathered here, to honor our veterans, the few who were so willing to give themselves to defend their brothers and their country. It is a small fraction of our population charged with keeping us safe, with keeping our liberties intact. Peter Hegseth had a quote, and we need to remember this. Memorial Day isn't just about honoring veterans. It's honoring those who lost their lives. Veterans had the fortune of coming home. For us, that's a reminder of when we come home, we still have a responsibility to serve. It's a continuation of service that honors our country and those who fell defending it. I wanted to extend an invitation to everyone for this Tuesday night at the Wayne Historical Museum. The Wayne Rotary Club will be rededicating a Veterans Rock Memorial that was moved to the museum that was originally dedicated on May 30th, 1966 by the Wayne JCs. It's going to be a great little event, and if you have the time, I would appreciate you guys to come by. And finally, we should spend today reflecting on the service and sacrifice of these brave men and women, and live in gratitude each and every day for the precious gift they have given us. Thank you, and may God bless and keep our fallen and their families, our veterans, and our active military. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Racy. Next, we have Brigadier General, United States Air Force retired. She wanted to make sure I got the retired. Carol Ann Fausone with her address.
It is my honor to be with you today in Westland to talk about this great country, the service that I love so dearly. Before I start, let me thank the veterans of Westland and Wayne for restarting this important parade and celebration. It is a demonstration of these two great communities, the importance of values and beliefs. Thank you for taking control of the process and making sure it was done with dignity befitting this great country. I thank you for the continued support you show for friends, family, and fellow Americans that serve and that have served in the United States military. Across our great land, thousands of American flags proudly waving mark the resting place of soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, Coast Guard, and merchant mariners who had their lives cut short so that we may live freely and enjoy the blessings of liberty. Memorial Day is the one day of the year that we set aside to remember and honor our country's fallen patriots. But you know, I want to tell you, we owe them a debt of gratitude every day of the year. We honor those who serve, have served, and those who gave the last full measure of devotion. President Abraham Lincoln spoke these eloquent words as he dedicated a cemetery in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, to those who fell in that battle. Lincoln knew all too well the cost of freedom, counted in the lives of brave men who took up their arms to defend the United States of America through our history, and they paid the ultimate price for their service. Memorial Day is also called Decoration Day. It is a patriotic holiday in the United States. It is a day set aside for Americans to remember those who lost their lives in defense of this country. Memorial Day stands as a solemn American tradition, honoring servicemen and women over the generation. It is not Armed Forces Day. It is not Veterans Day. It is more a somber day to honor and to help us to think about the unthinkable. Memorial Day took on a new feel during World War I in 1915 as a result of a poem written by Moya Michael titled, "We Shall Keep Faith." The words describe a battlefield where those lost, it came to beauty. I will read you the poem. We cherish too the poppy red that grows on fields where valor led. It seemed to signal to the skies that blood of heroes never dies. She then conceived of an idea to wear the red poppies on Memorial Day in honor of those that perished. The poppy was adopted as the official Memorial Day flower. The buddy poppy was coined as a tribute to their comrade who did not come home from war, or who was scarred and crippled because of the service, which is a hallmark of war. Respect for comrades is what the buddy poppy represents, and serves and should serve as a perpetual tribute to those that lost their lives for freedom. The war on terrorism has been going on now approaching 20 years. 7,500 have died in uniform. Many of those also have come home with scars of sacrifice. Today, I also want to pray for those veterans who leave the battlefield scarred and unable to reintegrate. The 20 veteran suicides a day is not acceptable, and it is preventable. So we need to do something about that. Those men and women deserve to be remembered, and their families, on this Memorial Day. On this Memorial Day, let us continue the great tradition of expressing our heartfelt appreciation for the protectors and defenders of all we cherish and hold dear. We owe them a debt of gratitude, a tremendous debt, one that is eternal. We must not forget their families. That spirit of patriotism and service is perhaps our greatest national treasure and most special. I want to read you a little written message that was delivered by a military minister. I will pray for our country and all who served or who serve, for their families who serve by losing precious days, weeks, months without their loved ones at home, who are offering, preserving peace and freedom in this country. I'll pray for the families who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, whose loved ones died or were taken captive and never returned. I'll pray for anyone who may still be held in captivity and thinks perhaps they were forgotten. I will not forget. I am so grateful to live in this country where my fellow citizens appreciate members of the service and the military who gave their ultimate sacrifice and served with honor. Today, on this Memorial Day, as you go from this ceremony, take a moment to thank each one. I want to thank each one of you for being here, for it is you, the citizens of this great country, and in particular, these two great communities, Westland and Wayne. It is with pride and gratitude that we pause on this Memorial Day to remember great, brave Americans. We recognize their valor and rejoice in the blessings that they stepped forward to give us freedom. You can honor the fallen by passing on the importance of this day to children, grandchildren, your neighbors. You honor past generation of patriots by letting friends and family know that Memorial Day is just not a day for a picnic or an auto race. It is a day to stop and remember, for it is Memorial Day. God bless you, God bless our families, God bless our veterans, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, General Falzone. Wow. Since this country's birth, there have been a history of sacrifice going right back to the American Revolution. In the Revolutionary War, there has been 4,435 total deaths, according to the United States Census. But think back to the Revolutionary War. They did not have a lot of record keeping back then. The War of 1812, 286,730 served, 2,260 made the ultimate sacrifice. The Mexican War, 78,710 served, 13,383 never made it home to their families. Civil War, 2,213,363 served in the Civil War. 364,511 never got to see another sunrise. Spanish-American War, 306,760 served during the Spanish-American War. 2,446 never returned. World War I, 4,734,991 served. 116,000 of them, 516, never came home. World War II, 16,112,556. 405,399 ensured that we did not fall under tyranny. Korean War, 5,720,000. 34,574 never came home. Vietnam, 8,744,000 deployed. 58,220 adorn a wall in Washington, D.C. and in our hearts. Persian Gulf War, 2.25 million served. 383 never came home. There are some others that we don't really think about. Iranian hostage rescue, 8 never came home. Lebanon peacekeeping, 256 never returned. Operation Urgent Fury in Grenada, 18. Panama, 23. Ugh. There are wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. They still go. Over 7,000 have not returned home. Memorial Day is a day where we can have we can go swimming, we can have our barbecues, but like the general said, we take time and remember those Americans never came home, and we are who we are today because they made the ultimate sacrifice. At this time, we're going to have the presentation of the wreaths, starting with Group 1, represented by BOVA VFW 9885 and Auxiliary, Vietnam Veterans of America, Jerry Baker, Vietnam Veterans of America, Mike Bruns, Representing the post is Michael Golden. VFW 9885 Auxiliary President Charles Scott. American Legion Post 251 Commander Jim Nichols. Vice Commander Dan Valdez. Adjutant Ron Nichols. Veterans Haven, represented by Judy Berna, Jacques Pavlik, and Mark Iscaro. Westland Area JCs, Andrea Rutkowski, and April Hendricks. Westland Meteors Football and Cheer, Football Director James Pierce, Cheer Director Jennifer Owens. City of Westland, represented by the Mayor, William R. Wild. City of Wayne, represented by John Racy. Wayne Historical Society, represented by members of the society. Westland Police Department, represented by Deputy Chief Randy Theveridge and Officer Shane Kozak, United States Marine Corps. Westland Fire Department, represented by Alex Silvestri. Wayne-Westland Parade Council, represented by Dan and Dina Stachow. Westland Veterans Association, represented by Lawrence Willenberg and Ron Schlim. Please remain standing, and if you would like to join me in a group Pledge of Allegiance. Present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, arms. We will now have a flag lowering ceremony. Firing detail, please perform your duties. Thank you, John Glenn High School and Wayne Memorial High School Trumpet Duet. Want to thank the Parade Commission, led by Richard Jordan, veteran, United States Marine Corps, Tim Horvath, United States Air Force, Dan Stachow, United States Army, and Vic Barra, United States Air Force. This concludes our ceremony. Everybody is invited to VFW Post 9885, Bova. Commander Akita, Mike Akita, invites us all to 6440 North Hicks Road, Westland, Michigan. We'll be serving hot dogs, chips, and beverages to all parade goers and their families, and anyone who would like to join us. We'd also like to thank the parade sponsors, Wayne Ford Civic League, Westland Car Care, VFW Post 9885 Bova, Wayne Lawn and Garden, and Heartland Marketplace. Thank you for attending our service today.